Hey everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to new subscribers. Well, here we are, second week of January in the new year, and the excitement never ends. Since our last video drop, uh, everyone should be familiar and aware now of the military response to Venezuela and removing of their president and first lady and bringing them back to the United States. Um, Kudos for the job well done, precision strike and removal and extraction timely out of the country with minor injuries and no deaths or resources lost. So excellent plan and mission carried out. And thank the Lord for their safety in doing so. I find I find this action, the response to this action, interesting in that the nations who are speaking out against the U.S. response, all being socialist communist regimes, and the fact that our president has put most of these nations on warning. Um, So we'll see what comes in the days ahead. I wanted to point out what's going on in Iran. I did hear that shortly after the Venezuela response that a lot of our resources were headed across the pond to Europe and further staging areas, a lot of C-17 heavies, which moves resources and troops. Um, Logistics is such a key to any operation like this. Logistics is key in your preparedness. Without logistics to have resources and plan them, how you're going to utilize them, pretty much you're going to fail. And even as Sun Tzu pointed out in The Art of War, logistics is the key component to being successful. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over in Iran. Uh, there's a massive stand up and revolt taking place right now against the leadership of Iran. I know a couple of their underling key personnel have already rumored to have fled to Russia, and I wouldn't be surprised if Khomeini leaves sometime soon if he hasn't already. He's 86 years old, and if you go back in time to 1979 during the uprising and revolt, uh, he originally fled then too. So uh, just hope and pray that the people within Iran can um, sustain and have the courage to continue the revolt, even while it's rumored that numerous citizens have been gunned down. Last total I heard was around 20, but there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of citizens in the street revolting against the regime and their tyrannical leadership. They're spending millions, if not billions, of dollars on developing or trying to develop nuclear weapons, while the people are paying exorbitant prices to just survive. There's a massive water shortage in around Tehran, and nothing is being done to try to resolve or come up with a backup plan for water for the millions of people who were caught. So keep an eye on. Hopefully, Iran problem will fix itself from within, and we won't have to go back and get involved. The Middle East is a powder keg, and as much as some of those nations may hate one another, they've pretty much historically, if you pick on one, you're picking on all of them. But it should be noted that Iran, though Islamic, they are Persian um, uh, by majority. So we'll see what happens there. It would be nice to see a change in Cuba. I've always wanted to travel to Cuba and visit uh, visit the island. So Colombia, Mexico, probably Honduras, maybe are all uh, possible future locations that we may see some form of action or change coming up. I think Secretary of State Marco Rubio actually, in an interview, said it best to date, and that is um, Russia and China were heavily involved in Venezuela, and oil and resources from Venezuela were being shipped to China and Russia and other parts of the world. And Rubio's point was no outsider is going to come and basically buy or steal vital resources in the Western Hemisphere. So we can agree or disagree on the action, how it was carried out, and so forth. But I know that the president, in the not so distant future, had also um, spoken with Russia and China about a new approach, and that basically be deal with your own hemisphere and stay out of the other ones. So time will tell. It is interesting to see American citizens protesting up in New York City um, against their own country. And I watched several interviews with people on the street who were part of the American Communist Party. And when asked specific questions about Venezuela and the president and first lady, the individuals basically could not respond. They really didn't even know why they were protesting. And many of them were paid protesters by a Chinaman who lives in Venezuela. So the beat goes on, and um, it's much of the same for the most part. I don't know if you caught this or not, but it was interesting in the uh, after the new mayor of New York City was sworn in at his press conference. Um, I didn't see an American flag anywhere in the background at all. And since then, he has made the comment about wanting to remove Americanism out of New York City. And if that's not an eye opener for everyone, it should be. Okay. Um, over the period of the last 20 years, we're seeing more and more anti American uh, individuals who are of the Muslim faith who may or may not be communist openly, but the things they say are anti-Christian, they're anti-American, and more and more are getting elected. And it basically goes back to that, what I spoke about in the last video, destruction from within, the meltdown of society, the meltdown of American citizens who agree or disagree cannot put the best for their nation at the forefront instead of trying to tear it down and stand up against those who are openly um, using our political system and our judicial system to gain positions of authority and power. All right. And as time passes on, it'll be more and more and more if a stop is not made. to keep these things from happening. And you hear very, very minimal, if anything, from our elected officials in Washington, D.C. on this topic because they're afraid of being labeled racist, anti this, anti that, and they get blasted in the media. As long as the individual elected represents the party uh, on the left or on the right, and most of them are on the left, there's very, very little that's being said about it. And now there's hearings and everything taking place to remove um, the young lady from Minnesota, remove her from Congress, and possibly expel her from the United States. So we'll see if the bite's as big as the bark. And so far to date, it is basically just a lot of barks with no action. Um, you think about the millions and millions of dollars that's been recovered or identified so far in Minnesota, and I think Washington State, that's part of the Somali probe into the money that was being embezzled off of the taxpayers. Um, we always hear about these things, but we very rarely ever see the result of imprisonment and repayment or recovery of these funds to um, get back to benefits of the honest taxpayers. And I think that's one of the boiling points that we're going to see more and more and more. We heard all about how much money was recovered from the Doge investigation 6 months ago or so, and the possibility of the money being used to send checks out to the American citizens. Again, why not pay down the debt? The debt right now, the debt is one of the biggest enemies of our nation, and we cannot continue on the path that we're on. We hear about economic strength and rebuilding the biggest economy, no matter who's in the White House. The economy is great, but the debt goes unchanged. It just continues to climb. And right now, the easiest, quickest solution out of that, I think that's what Washington is leaning towards, and as the globe may be as well, is moving to this digital currency and wiping the slate clean across the board for all indebted nations around the world. I know that India and Russia and China all want to have a new system where you have to have collateral for any debt. You have to have the collateral back it versus the current system. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. I know they're moving at a rapid pace to try to get the first stages of the digital currency deployed soon. We'll see. You can only do so many things at one time, and for whatever reason, they chose to go now versus later into the Venezuela arena. There's some people spewing that it's to get the media off the topic of Epstein. I heard an interesting theory over the weekend that actually Epstein was not employed by Mossad or the CIA, but he was actually uh, an informant to the FBI. So, and the individual explained why he felt that way. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to know, but it's not going to change today, other than the list of how many of our government elected officials were on the list and who went to the island, but it's not going to change the cup of tea you get served at dinner, other than to uh, maybe resolve something you had in your own mind. But as we've witnessed over the many, many years, very, very few elected officials are held accountable. You know, if it was a truly honest uh, system of integrity, there would not be a secret pot with millions and millions of dollars in it for Congress to use internally to pay off lawsuits from individuals who have sued them, or harassment and misdeeds they've been involved in. So, it's one of those things. To them, the law applies to us, but in their mind, it appears it does not apply to them. So, corruption continues. So, I just I look at the actions that are happening in Venezuela and wherever may be next, and that's on the global perspective. But I'm more concerned to what could be the fallout within America, and especially if we get involved in Iran again. What's going to be the trigger point to activate the sleeper cells that are within our country? And those are the ones that are going to be the biggest direct impact on us as citizens. So, got to keep our eyes open and keep moving forward and live your life. Don't live in fear. And if you're a person of faith, remember, we know how the story ends, and we have to continue the best we can our faith walk, and do the best, do good deeds for ourselves and our family and our community, and help others where we can, and not lose focus on that. So anyway, I just wanted to chat on that for a moment, and continue to try to encourage you to not lose focus, and keep the faith, and keep your head on a swivel wherever you're out. We're in the winter season right now, and Mother Nature can be brutal, so always plan before you travel. Know what the weather is. Make sure your home's set up. You could have ice storms and snowstorms and be stranded at home and lose power. Do you have water and food and a way to stay warm? Keep those things in mind. Don't let the world distract you from what's most important. So, anyway, if you like this video, hit like and share. Encourage those around you to prepare for winter, and put some extra food and water back, and keep on preparing. Uh, I was just sharing with someone recently. Again, I'm so thankful I had food put back since the whole virus back in 2020. It has greatly helped us offset the rising cost of groceries in the grocery store, and I hope that it's the same for you, that you've been able to offset that cost as well. So anyway, be blessed, and don't forget to give thanks. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all of your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal. If you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.